All right. What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's doing good. Thank you for joining me on today's live broadcast. We got going here for the Masters, all about Masters, and we got a special guest today, Mr. Richard Washington, which will be coming on in a little bit. So stay tuned for that. Before we get started with our interview and our special guest, I just want to kind of update you guys a little bit on some of the things that we have going on. We have some people already logged in. Jason Vincent, what's going on? Felipe Garcia, Mr. Doc, and Dren, Mr. Mijares out there in Northern California. Thank you guys for joining us. Whoever joins in, make sure you say hello. But yeah, we got a lot of things that are going on. Obviously, we got a lot of events now that are kind of lighting up, and dates are being put out. So as y'all know, yesterday I announced that the Doc Doherty Boxing Classic is now official. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. But what we'll do also is on Monday, we'll go over all the events and the dates and everything. That way you guys are up to date with everything that's going on. All right. So, and again, throughout the process, throughout the live stream, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, post them up and then we'll address them. If you have any questions for Mr. Washington, we'll go ahead and have like a little Q&A after with him. And that way we get your guys' questions answered. Jimmy Capellas out in Florida. What's going on? Jamie out in, I believe, Michigan is joining us as well. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. All right. Before we get to Mr. Washington, we're going to do a little commercial, show love to our one and only sponsor, Title Boxing. All right. There we go. Thank you, Title Boxing, for all the great things that you guys do for us, supporting us. And as we would like to return the favor, supporting you guys. If you need any boxing gear, make sure you check out TitleBoxing.com. And here he is, the one and only Mr. Richard Washington out in Colorado. How we doing, sir? Oh, no, he froze up. I think Mr. Washington froze up. We'll see if we can get him back in here. Um, hey, this is what happens when we do things live. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes this is what happens. We'll see if he can get back in here, and we'll start it off. All right. So, being that Mr. Washington is off for right now, let's get into it. So, just like I said, we had announced that we had announced that the Doc Doherty Boxing Classic is now official. Just so you guys know, the dates for that tournament is July 6th through the 9th. Once again, July 6th through the 9th. And what's going to happen is we have some of the youth and elite boxers will be competing, and then masters will be competing as well. So we'll have the elite and youth will be competing on Thursday and Friday, and Masters will be competing on Saturday and Sunday. So for those of you that are asking if you have to be there the whole time, you can come in on Friday, Friday night if you want, and then, just make sure you're there at weigh-ins on Saturday if you're competing Saturday and whatnot. You know what I mean? So it's basically just like we do our other tournaments. I wanted to make it as comfortable and as normal as possible, so that way there's no mix-ups and everybody kind of knows what's going on. So once again, the Doc Doherty Boxing Classic, July 6th through the 9th, and again, this is during the Las Vegas Fight Week, which is brought in by the UFC. So there's a lot of things that'll be going on there, including like MMA, kickboxing, wrestling, obviously boxing through us, and a lot of things that'll be going on, autograph signings and all those type of things. So it should be a great week. So hopefully a lot of you guys can join us. Registration is up and ready to go. So yeah, if you have any questions on that, please post them up, and we'll definitely go through them. All right. So let's see what we got here on the comments. Jim Capellas. Thank you, Title Boxing, for all they do for us. Absolutely. We are very grateful for Title Boxing. They've definitely helped us out throughout the years and joined us in making this great division great. Uh, 1,000 yard stare. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see if we can get Mr. Richardson back on, Mr. Washington back on here. If not, then we'll definitely bring him back on another day and figure out what happened with his with his life. But since we have this time right now, please feel free to ask questions. Let's get a conversation going. What's on your mind, Mr. Jamie Cates? Why don't you let us know what the dates are for um, the tournament in Ann Arbor, and we'll go over that a little bit too. Since you're in here, we can bring that up a little bit as well. So yep. All right. No questions, no nothing. Everybody's just like, we're good. All right, all right. Let me see what else I can bring up for you guys. I'm gonna try to bring. Let me see if I can put something together for you guys and see what you guys think. July 15th and 16th. Do we have a location and everything for that yet, or is that still in the talks? I know you guys have a website already up and ready to go. As a matter of fact, you know what? Here's what we're gonna do. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get creative here. Um, um, Mr. Garcia says, I noticed the signed list for document is up to only 10, then it repeats. Actually, it's already fixed, so it's up to 100 right now. But what's going to happen is we're going to have 200 masters compete in that, and because we're doing 2 days and we're going to do two rings, so we'll max it out at 200. But that's already fixed, Doc. Thank you for bringing that up. What an awesome event. Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing. I'll be honest with you. All master events are great in their own unique way. You know what I mean? And there's going to be memories that you'll cherish in each one. So whatever one you're able to make it out to, obviously there's some that might be closer to home. The date might fit better due to vacation or whatever the case may be. Um, just try to support it, and we'll go from there. But hang on, real quick, ladies and gentlemen. We got Mr. Washington back in the house. There
I'm
he
back, Manny. I'm
is.
sorry. I don't know what just happened.
It's all good, brother. It's all. Hey, this is what happens with the internet. You know what I'm saying? The live feeds and all that. So sometimes that's what'll happen and stuff. So, but we're glad you're back, and we're glad to have you here. For those of you that don't know, this is Mr. Richard Washington out of Colorado, a master boxer, incredible master boxer, great skill, and one of the guys that I'll tell you is willing to help out anybody that needs some help, at our tournaments and everything. And both him and his coach, you know what I mean. Great people, and so I wanted to bring him on so we can talk a little bit about him and get his story, and then also what his experience has been throughout with the Masters boxing. So to get started, why don't you tell us a little bit about where were you born, and what was it like being Richard Washington as a kid?
So I was born in Daly City, California. Um,
Okay.
Lived there until I was about maybe like 10 years old. Um,
Okay.
moved to Sacramento, California in like the fifth grade. Went to high school there, went to college at the University of Nevada in Reno. Always had a passion for boxing. I moved to Colorado in 1997. That was the
Okay.
same year that my son was born. And I was when I first moved there, I was doing some other sports, kind of trying to stay in shape, but I kind of got into boxing at the competitive level off of a dare from my coach. He was still competing at the professional level at the time. Shout out to my coach, DeVille Williamson, one of the best amateur boxers to ever do it.
Yes.
But we were doing he was training for a fight and invited me to his gym to kind of get myself back in shape. I was 260 pounds at the time, and he told me, he said, if I get you to your target weight, will you do some fights? I said, sure, because I didn't really think he was serious. And he got me there. I got down to 220. The lightest I got when I was competing was 211 pounds. I walk around now at about like 230 ish, but that's my story of how I got into boxing. I took some time off, with life and everything, and kind of
Absolutely.
got back into it last year.
Okay. All right. Let's go back a little bit though. Let's go back a little bit. So when you were growing up in California, you said that you did some sports and everything. What sports were you into?
Mhm.
What school did you go to? What were some of the highlights for you?
So I went to the sports I competed in was basketball and track. Those were my two
Okay.
sports. I
Okay.
was a long jumper, triple jumper. Every now and then, my coach would talk me into running a 400 meters on the mile relay team. But basketball and track were my sports. I went to Christian Brothers High School in Sacramento, California, and
Okay.
from there, I went on to college at the University of Nevada. Just wanted to concentrate on my studies. Didn't really play any sports in college, but just basketball. I played some intramural sports, but they didn't really have any much intramural boxing in college at my school. But they did have a boxing team. I wasn't really into it at that point in the competing level, but as I got a little bit older and started to appreciate the sport more, that's when I
Okay.
really started to have a true passion for it.
Okay. All right. Who, when did you like boxing before you competed?
Oh, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Who were some of your
When I was
your
in,
who were some of the people that you looked up to, or that you liked how they boxed or competed?
well, obviously, we're going to start with the greatest, Muhammad Ali. He was the one
Okay.
to kind of set the template for everybody. But the guy that I still think to this day does not get the respect that he deserves was one of the greatest fighters of all time, and that's marvelous Marvin Hagler. Marvin
Oh yeah.
Hagler was such an amazing fighter, never backed down from anybody, fought everybody in that Four Kings era. Ray Leonard, obviously Hearns, all of those guys in that era. And then, I've got love for George Foreman. The fact that he was able to take as much time off as he did, come back, win the title, and you know, when you hit like he can, you always have a chance. And he proved
Yeah.
that. He proved that that's all it takes. Sometimes it's just Michael Moore just stood right in front of him too long and put him to sleep. So yeah,
Yeah.
those are the guys that I really looked up to.
Yeah. And when you talk about George Foreman, man, to not just come back, but also come back mentally, because if people know his story, when he lost to Ali, I mean, it really did some mental damage as well. You know what I mean? And it takes a lot, man. To getting in the ring takes a lot, and so for him to come back and the reasons he came back, and just doing the things that he did was amazing. You know what I mean? And talk about
Manny,
a master in
to,
the
to
pros. You know what I mean?
right, Manny, to the point that you're making. I have a friend of mine when we were in Vegas for that tournament. I had a friend of mine from college that I hadn't seen in years, and we reconnected through Facebook. And I sent him a video of my fight in Atlantic City, and he said, "Wow, Rich, I'm impressed that you were able to get yourself back in shape and to do what you're to do that." He said, "I think you're crazy for doing it, but it takes a lot of heart to be able to do that." And also the other thing, the really important thing is to find the right coach. I found
Yes.
the right coach that didn't
Yes.
put me in bad situations. A lot of times you go to gyms and they put guys in and they start off sparring with both hands right off the bat. We never do that. We ease into it. We start off with maybe just a jab to the body because you want to evaluate to see what type of skills you're working with. And then after you evaluate, then maybe you can open up a little bit more. Maybe you can jab upstairs and downstairs, and then eventually you graduate to being able to use both hands. But the key is having a coach who knows exactly what he or she is doing, and they get you going in the right direction.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think you know, we often underestimate the value of a good coach, especially in the Masters and at a later stage because for whatever reason, but it's really important to have a really good coach, like you said, that knows how to start you off, knows how to get you to that goal, but not rush you there. You know what I mean? Understand what pace that you need to go, and then be able to get you there. You know what I'm saying? So that's awesome, man. And I've met your coach, man. I love the guy. Um,
Yes.
Man, he's amazing. He definitely is amazing. So hats off to you guys.
Yeah,
Um,
the barrel is as I said. I'm sorry, Manny. As I said, DeVerl is one of the best to ever do it as an amateur.
Absolutely.
He had a pretty good professional career as well, but he always jokes about it. He says, "I know what you need. I raised you." We joke about it. He's one of my best friends.
Yeah.
I've known him as pretty much as long as I've lived here in Colorado, and I live and die by him as a coach. He's magnificent.
That's awesome, man. And that's the type of relationship you want with a coach. You know what I mean? Because as a boxer, you want to be able to trust him. And when he says, "Okay, you're ready to go. You're ready to compete," that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Now, when you first started training with him, you said you weren't really, competition wasn't really on your mind and everything. Now, when it started getting kind of real, like, okay, I might have my first bout. How was that? How'd that happen? Where did you end up competing, and how'd that go?
So it all started back in 2005, and I remember it was like about three or four of us, and we would be at the gym. Had my job at the time. I'd get off of work at like about 6 o'clock. I'd go home and take myself a little nap. I'd go to the gym. We would go until like about 8, 9 o'clock, and we would have wars just training and pushing each other. And I did the Colorado State Golden Gloves tournament in
Okay.
2005, and in the B class. So I really wasn't ready for the next level, but I did the B class and I won that. And then the next year in 2006 is when I competed in the A class, the Open tournament, and won won the state tournament, went on the regionals, qualified, won that, and then went to the national tournament in 2006 at it was in Omaha that year. And now I didn't win, but it's what you realize is that there's levels to it.
Right.
I wasn't ready at that point in time. That was, like I said, that was probably the last time that I competed, and I took some time off and then got back into it. Speaking of levels, ring with Mr. Brad Ginn, that reminded me about the levels thing. Brad, when I came out, I had a strategy, and when I went out and I went to jab him in the body, and the way he stepped out of the way, I was like, okay, I've got my hands full. This guy knows exactly what he's doing. So, like I said, there's levels to it, and so shout out to Brad. He was a heck of a competitor. Um,
Yeah.
that was that was a fun fight. I must say that was a fun fight. And he's my kryptonite. Southpaws, for whatever reason, I have trouble with southpaws. It's my
I
kryptonite.
hear you, bro. I'm the same way. I was the same way. Yeah, but no, you guys put on a great performance. That was a great bout. And you're right. There definitely are levels, but you definitely tested yourself and you showed improved, man. So you should be very proud because I gotta tell you, he'll even tell you it was a tough bout, man. It was a tough bout. You know what I mean? So congratulations to both of you guys, man. And like you said, man, like I always say, there's as long as you learn something from it, you know what I'm saying. There's no loser. You know what I'm saying. So both of you guys were fantastic. So let me ask you this now. Now that you've been around Masters for a little
Mhm.
bit, you competed in Masters for a little bit. How's that journey been for you, and what has it done for you?
So the one thing that it has really done for me, it has allowed me to focus.
Okay.
It reminded me of the discipline and the training and the focus that I have to have in order to continue to do this. Um, I have a guy that was my training partner, Peter Zaffrin. He ended up moving to Los Angeles, but the two of us are going to be participating in your sparring camp at the end of April. So you'll get a
Okay.
chance to meet him again. But
Awesome.
we would push each other so hard. We would really push each other so hard in camp. And it just reminded me that discipline and focus coming to when it insofar as my diet, just there's mornings when I get up and I'm like, I really don't want to be here. But the second
Yeah.
that I get to the gym and I start working and I get that sweat going and I'm good.
Yeah.
It's getting your body and getting your mind in a mode where this is going to be good for me because after I put this hard work in, the results are going to show in the ring. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And they have. They definitely have. I mean, you've won numerous tournaments, have been champion of numerous events. Um, what what do you see yourself both in the Masters and outside the Masters? What's your goal long term? Let's say.
So it's funny that you bring that up because I was having this exact same conversation with my lovely wife. So I I'm shooting for the tournament. That's my I was contemplating between that and the Ann Arbor tournament. The problem is that those two tournaments kind of are a week apart. So I think I'm
Yeah.
going to do the Doc Doherty tournament, and then I probably want to do one more, and then I might just hang it up because I my goal in this, Manny, is to coach. I've got my silver
Okay.
level coaching certification. I've got my Colorado State corners license. Corners. I like coaching. That is what I want to do when it's all said and done. My ultimate goal is to help any youth or master's level men and women that want to learn the sport. Like I said, I've learned from one of the best, and just being
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Here we go. Here we go. Do we still got you there, boss? Damn it. I think we lost them. There's some difficulty that happened, and I think we lost them. Um, Damn, it's going so well too. Um, Everybody still there? Give me a thumbs up if you guys are still in here Still checking this out. Hopefully we can get him back in really quick, and we can finish off the interview. It was going so good. B. Hughes, as a master level boxer, how do you manage injuries? Okay, that's a good question. That's a good question. Let's see if we can get him back in, and we'll we'll continue on. There he is. There he is. Hold on. Hold on. Here he is. Yeah, we had some difficulty. I think it was on my end, bro. I'm not sure because the stream kind of went on
It's
and
all good,
off.
Manny.
So you were saying you wanted to your passion is to coach. So that's where you left off, where or at least where we could hear you was that you wanted to coach that maybe two more events and then you might give up the gloves, but you still want to continue coaching. You have some great credentials. And to be honest with you, in my opinion, you would be an awesome coach because I see how you move, I see how you do things, and then the pedigree that you have from your coach as well. I know there's going to be some great things coming as a coach as well. But the floor is yours. Let you continue on that.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not sure exactly what all you heard, but like I said, I have my silver level coaching certification with USA Boxing. I got that this past January. I have my Colorado cornerman's license as well. I want to keep that up to date. So, like I said, coaching is my passion. I do two more masters events, call it a career, and then any other masters fighters, men, women. We have some youth at our gym. I just want to be able to pass on the knowledge that I have gained from this sport onto them, and so that's my end game. Once again,
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And we've talked a little bit, and I'm sure we'll talk more in serious detail because I'd love to sit down with you and have dinner or something. And, you guys were talking about maybe having a tournament out in Colorado. So, which would make sense. I mean, it's not like USA Boxing's headquarters isn't over there or anything. You know what I mean? But we'll talk more about
exactly.
that. We'll definitely talk more about that and see what we can make happen out there. But so what would your advice be for someone that's kind of on the ropes about maybe trying masters boxing, competing? They want to, but they're just not sure. What would you say to them?
I would say to them, the most important thing is to get with the proper coach. If you have the passion and you get with the proper coach, he or she will get you over the hump. Sometimes it's a confidence thing, and it's just sometimes you just need to be reminded that you can, in fact, do this. Even if you've got a history with the sport, even if you don't, and you just it's something you're doing just uh, to try to get yourself in shape. The most important thing, in my opinion, is if you get the right coach and you get the right individuals around you, the right supporting cast, support team, whether it be other individuals at the gym, family members, if you get the right support and coaches around you to remind you that you can do this. Because a lot of people, like myself in the beginning, like I said, I was 265 pounds and I was just trying to get back in shape. And then he said, "You've
Yeah.
done all this work. Why have it be for nothing?" So, having the proper support around you is paramount, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. And one thing that I'll add to that is um, don't go in there with this pressure that you have to compete. Try it out first. You know what I mean? Get the workouts in first. Just see where you're at and see if you actually enjoy it. And as you go along, trust me, when you put in so much work, at some point you're going to want to compete. You know what I mean? That's what happens with a lot of people is they start off wanting to lose some weight or just stay in shape, and after a while it becomes like, wow, I really want to test myself now that I have these skills. You know what I mean? And so yeah. So let me know what anything else that you would like to throw in here. Any final words or anything that you have for our master boxers?
I do, and you guys touched on it the last live stream you had. You know, as master boxers, we put in a ton of work to get ourselves. You know, you got to remember, we're old men and ladies at this point in time, and we really put in a lot of work to
Yeah.
get ourselves in a spot where we can compete. And then to show up at a tournament and find out that your opponent isn't there. Heck, it happened twice to me where the original guy I was supposed to compete against backed out for whatever reason, and then the replacement didn't work out as well. So you got Brad and you got myself. We both trained hard. We want to fight. We put all this work in. So yes, we made it happen. So just respect the individuals that are putting in the work to do, putting in the work that it takes to be able to compete in these tournaments. Like you said, you mentioned, you said it last time. It's really a bummer to put all that work in and show up and you're like, yeah. By the way, your guy's not here. It's just really disappointing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah. Again, and the thing is that people have to realize is, like you said, there's a lot of work that goes into it. There's a lot financially that goes into it. You know what I mean? And to just have that situation happen, it just it just sucks. You know what I mean? Especially when it's like the day of. You know what I mean? It's one thing if it's with time, because then we can figure some other things out. But when it's like the day of, and it's just a bad situation. And as adults, we're adults. We should be we got to do the right thing. You know what I mean? We got to do the right thing. I know there's some injuries. I know there's things that happen, but I know also there's a lot that it's not that. You know what I mean? So let's just be respectful to each other and make sure that if we sign up and we're going through it all the way through, then see it all the way through. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you'll actually be grateful that you did, because it's a great sport, it's a great experience, and it's great people that that you're going to be around with. You know what I mean? So let get the full experience of it. You know what I mean? And make sure that others don't get cut off because of it. So yeah. All right, Mr. Washington. Anything else aside from I think you just froze again? There he is. There he is. All right. So anything else that you would like to add, sir? If not, definitely please give out some shout outs. Shout out all your people, your support group. We love you guys. You know what I'm saying? So please give them a little love.
Yes, absolutely. So once again, I want to shout out my coach, DeVero Williamson, for all the hard work he's done with me. My lovely wife, Lynn, my daughter, Larissa, and her boyfriend, James. They have come to all of my master's events. My training partner, Peter Cottontail, a.k.a. Well, we call him Peter Cottontail. His name is Peter Zaffron. Andy Klein, good friend of mine who actually sponsored both me to go out to both of these tournaments.
Awesome.
My son Kalen, he's always been there. And as funny story is, my son is into fitness and he wanted something different workout wise. So he started coming to the gym and he's kind of addicted now. My coach asked him, he says, "Would you be interested in getting in the ring?" He says, "Let me get the combinations down first, and then we'll go from there." So.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like I said, shout out to my son. So yeah, and that's it. That's everybody that's really helped me and guided me recently through my boxing adventure.
That's awesome, man. Well, thank you, Mr. Washington, and we look forward to seeing you at the next couple of events. And then once you hang up the gloves, we'll still see you because you're going to be coaching.
Okay, that's
So
it.
most definitely, we love you, man, and thank you for coming on and sharing your experience and giving us a little insight on Mr. Richard Washington. Everybody, give it up for Mr. Washington, please. And we will see you soon, boss. All right? All right. All right, everybody. Man, I just went through this whole thing and my mic was off. Oh man, it's a day of technicalities, but yeah, big shout out to Mr. Richard Washington for joining us. We really appreciate you, boss, and thank you for giving us an insight into your journey in boxing and masters boxing. Now, like I had said before, just so you guys know, the Las Vegas Masters Boxing Club proudly presents the Doc Doherty Boxing Classic, July 6th through the 9th. And like I said before, the youth, senior, and elite will compete July 6th and 7th. That's Thursday and Friday. And then the Masters take the main show, become the main show on July 8th and 9th. That's Saturday and Sunday. So if you want to compete in this event, make sure you register. Registration is open now. And once again, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We will go live again on Tuesday, and we will have another special guest for you, and we'll announce their name very, very soon. Thank you, everybody, once again. Take care. Have a great weekend. Keep training. Get your registrations in for those events that you are going to be competing in. All right? All right, everybody. Have a good one.
Were you expecting someone else?